And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cleveland Browns. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
What? 53, check 53. I'm here all day.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
We got left for second. Jam. Alert.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 36. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half. Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do? Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week one. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
On first down, it's Rosen, and he's got this one complete to Callaway. He'll have a first down past the 40, and brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Motion, motion, motion. Reset, reset, reset. Monday. 54.
Play action here with Rosen. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Hamilton, 37 yards. And the Browns have taken the lead.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for just a second, and they were in the end zone.
The extra point up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around, 1st and 10. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Wilson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's going to look deep down the field into a double team, and it's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Rosen. Rush coming, and he's taken down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 13.
Out. Hey, quarter. Alert flare, alert flare.
Third and long here for Rosen. He finds Beckham, complete. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. Third and long.
Hey, watch out. Check Mike 54. Hey, orbit. Check pass. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Get that. Middle.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. He wants it all for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on third and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Carson. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is Wilson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Browns drive about to get started. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
They go play action. It's Rosen. And he completes it to Hunt. Shreds him with a stiff arm. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run with Harris. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. On third down, Rosen. That's taken in by Callaway. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. This is Carson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the shotgun, Wilson escaping the pressure right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll start on the ground with Harris, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Watch us. Hey, team 6. Team 6.
From the gun, it's Rosen. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. All tied up at 10. 2 minutes left in the 1st half. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Aaron Donald with a sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Rosen off the play action. And that is incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Monday. All day, just like that. Just like that. No. Off. Hey, alert. Yes.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. He finds his target, Beckham. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Go. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Come on, boy.
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. To try again after the sack. Rosen. And that's going to be caught from Browns. Touchdown. Odell Beckham. As the first half is winding down. As his guys are able to regain the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on first and 10.
61, match box.
Now Hunt. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. He's going to float this. This is caught inside the 15. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half.
They've got his man complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Check, walk 54, walk 54.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Check safety.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now here's another carry for Harris. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Now Rosen looking to throw. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 22-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time, and that'll make it third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Off the play fake, here's Rosen. Pressure comes, and down goes Rosen. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's third and long here.
Here we go, G. Get up. 36 power.
Wilson now operating from the gun. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to...
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. No problem there on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up first and 10. They run it with Carson, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be second and 12.
At the 23-yard line.
Mike 51. I got it. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Hey, look.
From the gun, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley made his way into the backfield.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Harris to return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over first and 10.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go.
On first down, it's Harris, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
Shoot. Watch the shoot. 49. Check 49. Check 49. Check 49.
On the delay, here's Hunt. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Hey, alert, alert. You won't see me in your nightmares, son. Hey, Zoo. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Let's go. Shit.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll run it here with Hunt. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On third down, here's Harris. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson throwing again, and that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Carson, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Here's Wilson. The catch made by Miller. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Wilson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Myles Garrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And this Browns defense stands tall. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
A toss play to Hunt. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run again with Hunt. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. It's a pickup of 17 there. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture as now they've got a 1st and 10. Here's Hunt. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
Hey, watch the sling, watch the sling. Watch the end. Peek in, peek in. Hey, alert, alert. Switch. He's coming.
On 2nd down now, it's Hunt. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 50.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
That's to his running back, complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
You must be dreaming.
One last shot for Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for Cleveland, that'll be a happy locker room as they start the season 1-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
I